Tonight on the Black Channel, we make an examination of white rage and privilege coming home to roost. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college and university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, first of all, I want to welcome you all back to the original YouTube page here for the Black Authority. And just to get you all up to speed here, please make sure that you check your status of your notifications as well as everything else. Make sure you check that. As you all know, YouTube has a shadow ban on several levels here, and here on the channel, a lot of you may have switched over to the TBA channel. We've been using that for the last couple of years. I want you to go ahead and get all of that straightened out. So for some of you, if you didn't get your notifications, whatever, you didn't see that, please make sure that you have that turned on. Remember how it works here. You need to turn it on, not just for notifications, but all notifications. Otherwise, you may not receive them. So if you haven't checked it here in a little while, and it's been a while, go ahead and make sure you do that. As well, and as always, check to confirm that you have subscribed to the channel. YouTube, of course, involuntarily unsubscribes people. So please make sure to check that you are still subscribed to the channel here. And now, this is a story here, and there's something in particular I want to go into. Here. Now, the Duchess of York, her former assistant, a woman who used to work for her for a while ago, she was found dead in Texas, because that's a place where people go die now. And so there's something in particular I want to go into here, I want to read the story here for you first, and this dovetails off of what we're talking about here tonight. A suspect has been arrested after the former assistant to the Duchess of York was found dead in the Dallas apartment earlier this week, officials said. Officers responded Monday afternoon to a home in downtown Dallas where they found Janine Chapman, 46, had died, according to the Dallas Police Department. The following day, the medical examiner's office ruled her death a homicide, Dallas police said. Chapman worked as an assistant for the Duchess Sarah Ferguson years ago, Ferguson said in a social media post. Ferguson said she was shocked and saddened to learn of Chapman's death. Quote, Janine was loyal, hardworking, beautiful, and fun, and my heart breaks for her friends and family, Ferguson said. Ferguson said she had spoken to Chapman a couple of months ago, and she seemed happy. Dallas police said in a Wednesday update they identified the suspect and took James Patrick, 48, into custody in Austin, about 200 miles southwest. He was booked in the Travis County Jail and will face a murder charge, police said. As of Saturday afternoon, he is still being held on a $100,000 bond. $100,000 bond. Dallas police did not outline any motive in the case and did not say whether Chapman and the suspect knew one another or had any relationship. CNN has been unable to determine if Patrick has any legal representation. This is yesterday from the leader in the headline news. Yesterday. I just want you to understand that part first and foremost before I go any further. This is from CNN yesterday. Here is from NBC DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth. An hour ago, Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, mourns loss of former assistant killed in Dallas. So the Duchess of York is in the headline. The person who actually died, that's the black woman right here. Boy, I'm telling you, she doesn't even get to have her own headline. Now, take a look at this again. The subheadline here: Dallas police said officers found Janine Chapman dead inside her apartment on Monday. A suspect is in custody, whom Chapman's family said is her husband. Now, do you take a look at the work that they did here? Do you see how long you got to go? Over here, it didn't say that at all. You come over here and you got to go through all this before you finally get to this. Now, you think about that for a few moments. This is as of an hour ago. As family members of Janine Chapman mourn the loss of their sister, 46, who police say was killed, the woman's former boss, a member of the royal family, is also sharing her heartbreak on social media. Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, posted on Instagram a picture of herself seated next to Chapman from years ago when she was Ferguson's assistant. Now, here's what I want to go down to here, okay? She said this before. I want to go down to here. Duchess of York, 63, goes on to describe what it was like working with Chapman along with her efforts to help her family in funeral and legal fees. She also asked others to make a donation. Now, this is a quote from the Duchess of York now. Janine was loyal, hardworking, beautiful, and fun, and my heart breaks for her family and friends. I heard from her just a couple of months ago, and she seems so happy. Her family is raising money to transport her body back to New York City and pay for legal and funeral costs. So the Duchess of York says, I will be making a donation and supporting the family in any way possible. Please help if you can at the link in my bio. The Duchess of York said, I'll throw in a few shekels for a GoFundMe. All right. There's a point that I wanted to make here, whether it was CNN or whether it was the local news. I just want you to understand exactly what they're saying, but more to the point, what they're not saying. And did you notice that you had to go through all this? You had to go through all this to see. They kept saying that a suspect was arrested. Suspect arrested. Duchess of York mourns loss of former assistant. A suspect is in custody. A suspect is in custody. And that's really all you need to know or understand about that part of it. Because then you realize, or at least you should be realizing there, what's going on now. We may not have all the details that we would like to have as far as what's going on there and whatnot, but I thought I would take a moment here to go a little bit further into that. On Professor Black Truth's YouTube page, well, I wonder if this has anything to do with that. I wonder if this has anything to do with it. Folks, do you see these headlines? Do you see the headlines here? Do you see that? I want you to take a look at that and see, do you see these headlines? Man accused of killing wife in NTX arrested in Austin. Man accused. Man. Meanwhile, take a look at these things. They keep referring to them that way. And you can see who the man accused was here. Man accused. Suspect in custody. Suspect arrested. Man accused. Didn't say husband. Didn't say that at all. Folks, they knew that from the very beginning. Come on now. Come on now. So the police just went around and rounded up a random dude? No, they didn't. They knew that they always suspect the husband first. They always do that. And in this case, the media shows they're in on it. We are not not going to refer to him that way. We're not going to refer to him that way. Now, even though we don't have the details of exactly what occurred there, we certainly do have the details of the media. We certainly do have the details of how this was treated, not just one outlet, but several outlets handling this the same way. Handling this the same way now. And I also want to keep something else in mind. You see this name here, Sarah Smart. So, white female. Sophia Bosalel, another female there. And I want you to see how they're handling this. I just wanted to take a moment here and say, by the way, take a look at how they're handling that. Take a look at how they're phrasing that. What happened to Me Too and the sisterhood and all that? Take a look at how it's being handled. What happened? What happened? Some folks out there think they've got a lot more camaraderie with folks than they actually do. They think they got a lot more than that. And then if something happens here comes the media to step right in and whatnot. And it's, oh boy, we're anonymous. We're anonymous. You take a look at the headlines, no names, no. They're showing the person who was killed. They're saying that a suspect was arrested, and the whole article here on CNN, as you can see, the suspect is arrested, and they're not showing the suspect who was arrested. They're showing the Duchess of York. They're showing the deceased, but they're not showing the suspect. NBC Channel 5 DFW. They're showing the deceased. They're showing the deceased. They're talking about the suspect, but they're not showing him. But they're not showing him. Says here the Dallas police officers arrived at apartments in the 1400 block of Elm Street. I'm familiar with that. Downtown Dallas. On Monday around 1:15 p.m. for a wellness check. They found Chapman dead inside her apartment, and on Tuesday, the Dallas County Medical Examiner's Office determined her death was a homicide. The family said investigators believe her body may have been there for several days. On Wednesday, DPD said 48-year-old James Patrick, 48-year-old James Patrick, so they know his name, they just never mention it. Okay, you got to go digging all the way down here in the story to actually find out what his name is, and you never find his face, not from this story, you don't. Seems a little odd for the media, doesn't it? Or maybe not. On Wednesday, Dallas PD said 48-year-old James Patrick was arrested in Austin, Texas by the University of Texas Police and would be charged with murder. The family described the suspect as Chapman's husband of about 2 months. Miss Smart, how much digging did you do into this? Because it said they didn't have any information. The police didn't say what they did not outline any motive and did not say whether Chapman and the suspect knew one another. It's her husband, and the police and CNN don't know if they know each other. We're not sure they know each other. Who is he? No, husband. All right. Quote, "We are relieved. We have been in constant contact with the detective, and he made us aware of the arrest," explained Crystal. "We're happy at this point that an arrest has been made, but we're definitely not stopping, and we want to get the word out for sure. We want this investigation to go smoothly. Janine deserves justice for what happened to her," said Nicole. Police have not released a motive or said how Chapman was killed. Her sisters described the relationship between Chapman and her husband of 2 months as toxic. Folks, she didn't make it 2 months. She didn't make it 2 months. 2 months. Quote, we were shocked because before it was an off and on relationship. It was rocky. We were aware of that. She broke the news to our mother about the marriage, and of course our mother told us, and yeah, we definitely didn't see that coming, and no, there was no wedding, so we weren't involved, unfortunately, explained Nicole Marshall, another sister. Am I gonna say it? Am I gonna say it? Should I say it? Am I gonna say it? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Folks. So, she's with this fella. She gets married. And according to the family, by the way, we didn't even know. There was no wedding. We weren't involved. Boy, I'm telling you, ain't white privilege grand? I'm telling you, boy, they see Zaddy, and that's it. He ain't got to do nothing but walk up. It's a toxic relationship. Marry me. Boy, I'm telling you, ain't demanding nothing from him. Not demanding anything. Although some of these folks come from cultures where that's the way they operate. Some of them come from cultures where that's the way they operate. Of course, if she was an assistant to the Duchess of York, then we know where she's not from. And she's an assistant to the Duchess of York. We probably got a good idea where they're not. Let me just say, we probably have a good idea where they're not from. And somebody said killed him on Elm Street. Talk about Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, all he had to do was walk up and that was it. She paid it no mind whatsoever. He didn't have to be full of money. He didn't have to come from a rich family. He didn't have to be privileged. The relationship could be toxic as a landfill. 2 months later, we were shocked because it was an off and on relationship. It was rocky. She broke the news to our mother, and of course, our mother told us there was no wedding. We weren't involved. 2 months later, she did. And 2 months later, she's dead. And I think there's a lesson to be learned in there about that. If you all agree that there is a lesson to be learned about that, give me the book emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. It's over 3,000 people in here live in just the first 18 minutes. If you agree with me that there is a lesson to be learned here, give me the book emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. Otherwise, we'll just assume that folks are not digging tonight's program because it's hitting a little bit too close to home. So I do understand. Might be hitting a little bit too close to home for you, but thought I should go ahead and make a note of that. There's some folks out there that tell themselves that it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. There's some folks out there that tell them this kind of thing. And, Tarana Burke, don't look for Tarana Burke to show up today. Don't look for that. Don't look for Tarana Burke to make an appearance. I don't suspect that's going to occur. Don't expect the black feminist to say anything. As a matter of fact, in their world, that's an awesome way to go. In the world that they come from, that's an awesome way to go. Wiped out by Zaddy. That's if you gotta go, go in style. That's their perspective on it. That's their position. If you got to go, go in style. Are you going to hear anything about toxic masculinity? Asking for a friend. Are you going to hear anything about that? Is there going to be condemnation about that? I wonder. I just wonder. Goes on to say here, the family said they didn't personally know Patrick that well. They are not sharing too many details about the case or the relationship because they don't want to jeopardize the police investigation. Quote, we are seeking justice for her and we are willing to do anything in our power to make sure that happens and seek the fullest extent of the law to make sure this guy stays behind bars, Marshall explained. As of Friday, Patrick was still at the Travis County Jail in Austin, according to the sheriff's website. It's unclear when he would be extradited to Dallas or if he has an attorney. The family didn't know him that well. Sounds like your sister wasn't really. Sounds like you all didn't know your sister very well. It sounds like you didn't know your sister very well, or you all were not that close. Either you all were not that close, or she was just like Beyonce, crazy in love. And so she was thinking about all the little cute babies with good hair. The old boy was like, yeah, if you think the wedding was bad, wait till you see the honeymoon. It'll be interesting to see if they do come up with a motive for this. It'll be interesting to see what that is. Divesting gone wrong? You all tell me. I got a question to ask right quick. How many of these Patrick guys are out there? How many of them are there? Shouldn't be very, very hard to define there. I mean, after all, they have full faith and support of the media all over the place to cover for them. So, yeah, why wouldn't you? How many others are out there? That's a question. How many others are out there? How many others? This chick here had no problem Xing out the family. I'm going to get married to this dude, and the family like, man, we don't know nothing. Do you know how determined you have to be to get in this situation that you didn't consult your family, you didn't ask anything, you just X them out and it's just, we're going for it. We're going for it. The family's going to find out, if they find out. We didn't know him that well. Now, you know that's not going to fly amongst us because we know better. We know better than that. Let's just be very clear. This dude looked like the damn suspect. Are you kidding me? He looks like the suspect. This fella looks like he would be getting the Uber and you get in, but you don't get out. I'm not joking. You can take a look. I'm not kidding at all. You take a look at him. This is Exhibit A. He's straight out of Central Casting. Now, we would have known not to do that. We all would have looked at him and been like, yeah, this ain't right. There's no way in the hell we would have jumped in the damn lift with him. No way in the hell. Y'all would have seen him and be like, oh no, dude, you look like you was college roommates with Jeffrey Dahmer. I ain't going with you. No. Oh, come here. Man, your hair feels so nice. Take a look at this. It feels so nice there. Look at you. Oh, your dark skin. This is just great. He's sitting there looking at you like a shish kebab. But every once in a while, the real damn thing comes out. Take a look at this. We were shocked because before it was an off and on relationship, it was rocky. We were aware of that. It was rocky. Okay. Makes a little sense there. It was rocky. That's a rather civil way of putting that. It was rocky. Keep your eyes and your ears open out there, because there are some folks who are just determined to engage in stupid no matter what occurs. Keep your eyes and your ears open, because you never know when you're sitting next to somebody and they're there for the reasons that we told you that they're there for. That's the whole point that we've been making. They're there for the reasons that we told you. How long had he been waiting to do this? Did anyone ask that question? How long has he been waiting to do this? How long was he waiting to do that? Remember, her body was dead for several days before they even went looking for him. Did you get that? Her body was dead for several days before they even went looking for dude. Killed her in Dallas. He's all the way down in Austin. He's down all the way there in Austin. They're sitting up there in Dallas and we don't know what happened. The family, can you do a wellness check? Can you do a wellness check? And the police just go by and go check and see. Folks, don't you know these folks look for individuals here? They look for you. You don't really hang out with the family like that. You're by yourself. Don't you know they look for things like that? Oh, come here. You like to listen to Pearl Jam? So do I. I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm actually being rather serious about this. They look to see, are you by yourself? Remember Jerry Sandusky? They look for you to be off by yourself. They look for you where you don't really have any protection around you. There are no men. There are no real family members. You're kind of just off by yourself. You're kind of just off by yourself. What website did she meet him on? We don't know. I would like to find out, though, because I'm like, okay, if this is the damn killer spot, we need to find out what's going on. But are they saying those things? So when they take a look out here, just understand the folks who sit up here and tell themselves that they're going to divest or whatnot, don't you know you fit a profile? Don't you know that you fit a profile? You're not the first. They know exactly what they're looking for. You big-headed, you hard-headed, you gonna be rebellious. I don't fool with those other people over there. Oh, what about your family? Oh, I don't let them run things. I don't let my family run things. Oh, that's really good. Think about that for a few moments. Think about that for a few moments. And then the media, when they show up, they don't have anything to say much about it there. They sit there the whole damn time. We don't know who he is. Ooh, it's a suspect. All right. How long was he planning this? How long was he waiting? Did he show any previous signs? Was there slave play going on? Oh, I am not exaggerating. Was there slave play going on? It was rocky. Was there slave play happening? Was he sitting there, come here, you little N-word? We're going to prove just how worthy we are. I just want to take a moment to delve into that because I'm asking the question here and I'm taking a look at this guy and I'm like, you don't look right, dude. You look like the kind of fella that if we look into your history here, we're going to see all kinds of suspected white supremacist activity. I think if they haven't scrubbed his social media and everything yet, you take a look at this guy right here. He looks like the kind of fella who would be in some suspected white supremacist activity. He looks like it to me. I'm taking a look at him and he looks like he fits the profile. He looks like he fits the model. He doesn't look like the kind of fellow. The energy here is all off. The look is all wrong. We've seen this dude before. We've all seen this dude before. It makes you wonder what she had to put up with and what she had to deal with there and what she was willing to do in order to show the family, you see. Of course, if you tell yourself that they have to start old, you'd be quite wrong about that. You'd be quite mistaken about that. Now, I've got some more recent examples here that we're going to get into here in just a moment. Wait till you see some of this. Warning, there are some language alerts. I haven't had time to bleep things and stuff, so just a fair warning, there's going to be some language alerts. But before I get to that, I'm going to take a very brief non-commercial break. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, CashApp, Venmo. Big shout out here to my man, Mr. Richburg. Thank you very much for your support on tonight's program, along with Andrew L., Mark B., Snaps Bell. Thank you very much for your support as well. We appreciate that. We're going to take a very brief non-commercial break. When I come back, people here, white rage and privilege. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean when we return. This is The Black Channel.
Hello, my name is Steve Burgess, and I'm a certified elementary school teacher and have been for 23 years. I'm the author of this book, Guidelines for the Successful Student, a closer look at parenting your school-aged child. In this book, I've explained the role of the parent and the student in addition to what accommodations, procedures, rewards and consequences and expectations that need to be in place to ensure student success from primary to high school. This book is available on Amazon.com. For more information, please visit my link tree at Easy One-on-One. And to access my latest podcast, A Teaching Moment with Mr. B.
A white supremacist assassin seeks revenge. Corrupt FBI agents with evil intentions. Dangerous black collaborators dedicated to treason. Occam Jeffers must defeat them all and somehow survive. One misstep and he's a dead man. Join Occam Jeffers as he looks the devil in his blue eyes and tells him, Black first. A sequel to the underground hit War of the Heart, Spirit of 1811 Publishing presents God Love Us, on sale at Amazon. Pre-order and save today. Visit spiritOf1811publishing.com and show your love.
More Threads. A brand owned by a descendant of Black American freedmen was created to uniquely address Black American history and contributions that have been intentionally hidden and suppressed. Use their apparel and more to learn and share the Black American history of Black inventions, heroes, towns, Black business districts, and more. Sign up and support not only a Black-owned business, but a movement at www.morethread.co.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' natural body butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Press But Not Crush is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. And what I want to do here next is I want to go ahead and double down on that here. Folks, well, first of all, the meth is very good out there right now. The meth is very good. We know it's very good. And boy, they don't know what's happening out here. And let me tell you, it used to be more safe. Now you are not at all. You are not at all. Want to hear about the rage going on out there? Okay. While you worrying about black folk, this is what's happening out there. Man is in jail on terrorism charges after authorities allege he deliberately drove his SUV into a home and a police station in Independence Township, New Jersey, while blaring "Welcome to the Jungle" from his stereo. No injuries were reported. Well, it certainly isn't from lack of trying. It certainly isn't from lack of trying. I mean, he parks this thing right in the police station. It's a good thing the desk sergeant was. Take a look at that chair right there. You see that chair? It's a good thing the desk sergeant wasn't on duty. He comes out. I'm number one. He's got his fingers up, not his hands yet. Now he's got his hands out. When he jumps out of the car, he's got his fingers up. I'm number one. He throws the doors open and, yay, for my team. Now he puts his hands up. Now, did you notice the police, they come around the corner like he's got an overdue library book. He literally just totaled out the police station. Good thing these guys were around the corner on a donut break, because if they had actually been at their desk to do their jobs, well, if you were actually at your desk doing your jobs, it'd be a lot more hazardous. So needless to say, they're over there in the break room. They don't pull their guns. They don't pull their guns. Now you see the older fella back there is a little more cautious. The younger dude just walks right up on him. The older fella back there is more cautious. They don't come out with their guns out, tasers out, nothing. Nothing. Boy, I'm telling you. Now, what do you think motivated this? What do you think caused this to occur? Was he smoking? Has he been harboring resentment? He's in jail on terrorism charges. They'll get that plea bargain down to driving without a valid license. They're going to plea bargain that down. Y'all see, they just walk him to the back like it ain't nothing. No, never mind. Here, let me park this in front of your desk. They don't come around the corner with guns drawn. It's just like, okay, like it ain't nothing. Now, you know that had to been hella loud. He's got the music blaring, and I guess they're Guns N' Roses fans. And I'm just saying to myself, if this had been a 16-year-old black child, does this end the same way? I'm just wondering. If this is a 16-year-old black kid, does this end this? Hell, if this is a 40-year-old black male, does this end the same way? That's my question. 40-year-old black male, does this end the same way? No, of course. All he did was park the car in the police station. That's all he did. That was it. hops right out, yay, for my team. Okay. So Kamala Harris will like that one. So basically from the crime blotter, this is going on. Is this a moment for back the badge? I'm going down here in the comments section. I'm checking to see. Take a look at this. Police really seem oddly relaxed over it, like, oh, a car just drove into our building, no big deal. The coldness of those officers, that's what we need in my country. Nobody's talking about back the badge or anything else. Trying to reenact the scene from Terminator 1. So kind of just makes you wonder here. Is it the movies? Are they going to blame it on Hollywood? Are we going to blame it on Guns N' Roses? It's the culture, dude. It's the culture. I'm wondering. The police didn't even draw their weapons. A black man in Columbus was talking on a phone when two police came up behind him silently. When he turned around, they instantly shot him 6 times because he had something in his hand. A something with a brightly lit screen. Even with his hands up, I'm surprised they didn't try to shoot him. Look how patient and calm they are with him. I wonder why, with them laughing. So they're not nearly as radical in defense of this. No back the badging going on. Couldn't help but notice that. You see, they only do that thin blue line stuff if black folks show up. It's only a thin blue line and back the badge situation when black folks show up. With everybody else, we don't have to worry about it. It's only thin blue line and back the badge when we're there. But it's about the culture, people. It's about the culture. It's about the culture. And what do I mean it's about the culture? Because when we don't get involved in certain things, other stuff doesn't happen. Why don't we go ahead and see if we can turn our focus to sports. Let's focus on some sports instead and see if we can get past some of this heavy stuff here and some of this rage and privilege. See if we can get past that real quick. I'd like to do that real quick if we could. That'd be nice.
I'm gonna fucking kill you in Homestead. You fucked with the wrong guy, motherfucker.
Fuck this guy.
Come on, man.
He's right there. Get you home, motherfucker. That's my boy again. Hey, fucking kill me out.
I'm gonna fucking kill you in Homestead.
I'll whip your ass. I got you at Homestead, bitch.
Oh, well, y'all, NASCAR. Remember when they used to tell you that NASCAR was, yeah, we have to worry about those thugs in the NFL. They had to worry about remember they told we have to worry about the thugs in the NFL. Remember that? So Richard Sherman is a thug, by the way, for talking. Meanwhile, this is going on over there in NASCAR. This is today, I believe it was, or yesterday. Millions of views. The blood is flowing. This is NASCAR. Folks, NASCAR. They're talking trash to us about the NBA and the NFL. This is NASCAR. That's the other thing you want to let them know. You mess with the wrong dude.
I'm gonna fucking kill you in Homestead. You fucked with the wrong guy, motherfucker.
Okay. You have effed with the wrong guy. So, folks, I'm telling you, it's the man. It is the culture. I'm going to blame it on that. That's what I'm going to put the blame on here. There is a lot of rage going on out there, and that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening here. Now, to put a little bit of this into context, NASCAR. So that fella there is Nick Sanchez. NASCAR star Nick Sanchez bloodied in a fight after close racing leads to wreck at Talladega. The fight occurred after close racing between Sanchez and Matt Crafton led to a wreck. Tensions were high at Talladega Superspeedway, as some of the top NASCAR Truck Series drivers were vying for position in the postseason. Nick Sanchez was among drivers looking for an edge in the final elimination before the championship 21 days away. Sanchez was in the mix, headed into Talladega, and made contact with Matt Crafton's vehicle coming down the front stretch with 3 laps to go. So this is him before, and this is him after. So hopefully he's a better driver than a fighter. Otherwise, his career is not going to be very long. Either that white privilege got to really kick in. The contact triggered a big wreck. Crafton wasn't able to finish the race. Sanchez finished 7th and jumped to 4th place in the standings. Well, okay, well, crime pays. Frustrations boiled over in the garage. A video from front stretch showed Sanchez being held back after a brawl. He left the infield care center with some scratches on his nose and explained to reporters what happened. I was walking back to the hauler, tapped on my back, got punched in the face. Cheap shot, but it is what it is. I'm all for fighting, but no cheap shots. I got a cheap shot. Never had a chance to get him back. It is what it is. It's part of racing. Brett Moffitt came away with the victory after starting the Love's RV Stop 250 in 31st. Love's RV Stop. I think I get gas there on my way to Alabama. He led 22 laps on his way to a victory. Do y'all see how they just skipped right by that? Now, do you all see how they just shifted gears and switched right by that? Sanchez was left bloodied. He told the reporters what happened. It's a part of racing. Then they get back to the stats. Do you see that? Y'all, this white privilege is a son of a gun, ain't it? Oh, we don't never get headlines like this. The news story never goes this way. Not for us. First they talk about the fight, then they get to, and here he came in 2nd place and 3rd place. What in the world? Brett Moffitt came away with the victory after starting the Love's RV Stop 250 in 31st. He led 22 laps on his way to a victory. 2 races remain on the Truck Series schedule this season. Homestead, Miami for the Baptist Held 200, and then the championship race at Phoenix November 3rd. Corey Heim leads the round of 8. And what the hell? Hold on a minute. So 1 second we over here. We're over here 1 second. And then, really? They just said, man, you're moving right along. Moving right along. Folks, if this was black men, Stephen A. Smith, oh, I said it. Stephen A. Smith would be over there on ESPN. His white bosses would have him doing a damn telethon about it.
And deal with it, nigga.
Folks, come on now. If this was Stephen A. Smith, he would be saying the problem is black men, black culture. If it was Jamel Hill, is black men, black culture, toxic masculinity? Toxic masculinity? Masculinity? Stephen A. Smith, the problem is that we as a people, and I'm going to say this, as black men, that's the real issue right there. It's in the culture is what it is. Charles Barkley would waddle his ass over. Just terrible. Terrible out there. I don't understand it. We need to represent Jason Whitlock. Here's the problem right here. Hold on, man. I'll take fries with that Baconator. That's the problem right here. See, we are a bad example. That's what you would be hearing on ESPN, Fox Sports Net. That's what you would be hearing. You'd be hearing about how this degrades the sport. Okay, NASCAR is a sport too, remember? And we ain't got nothing to say here. Are you There's a damn bench clearing brawl. He's talking about he's gonna kill somebody. This is a bench clearing brawl out here. Are you kidding me? This is what we doing. And there's no Stephen A. Smith. There's no wall-to-wall coverage. There's no anything. We don't get to see none of that. It's just, oh, well, it's another day in NASCAR. Now, if it was the NFL, it would be a national day of mourning and tragedy, and we need to look at ourselves and examine the culture and all this. What in the hell are y'all talking about here? That's what the hell they be saying. One more thing here. Nick Sanchez is 22 years old. By the way, he's 22 years old. 22. 22 years old. Nobody's talking about him being a role model.
I'm gonna fucking kill you in Homestead. You fucked with the wrong guy, motherfucker.
Fuck this guy. He's right there. Get you home, motherfucker. That's my boy again. Fucking kill me out.
I'm gonna fucking kill you in Homestead.
I'll whip your ass. I got you at Homestead, bitch.
Okay, y'all. Jason Aldean. Folks, come on now. Okay, look, people. This country music and NASCAR has got to stop. This country music and NASCAR has got to stop, y'all. I'm just saying. This country music, this NASCAR, this it's gone too far. It's really gone too far. I think that we as a nation need to examine ourselves. These little zippy pickup trucks, we need to ask ourselves, what are we coming to as a nation? I blame it on Lil Nas X and Old Town Road. I'm really not sure. I'm not sure what to think. I just know that my little brain cannot take all of this rampant thug.
I'm gonna fucking kill you in Homestead. You fucked with the wrong guy, motherfucker.
Fuck this guy. He's right there. Get you home, motherfucker. That's my boy again.
I mean, so is NASCAR going to be embarrassed? Is NASCAR going to be mortified? Is this a black eye for NASCAR? Folks, do you all understand that for the sports that are predominantly white, where if black folk get any traction in it, it gets national attention? Do you notice the white dudes be doing stuff we ain't never thought about? Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov can sit up here and slug it out in the damn stands after the fight. That's all legit. Two black men getting each other's faces in the NBA game. Here comes Stephen A. Smith. This is the problem right here. This is the difficulty. We need to understand that they can have a damn bench clearing brawl in the NHL. Hockey hockey has had games where folks got laid out and had to be carried off the damn ice on a stretcher. Folks, in the NFL, you got to snap a leg for that. In hockey, literally, like if you've ever tuned into hockey on Fox Sports or something like that, I did years ago, blew my damn mind. People, it blew my damn mind. Like, two of the guys out there, somebody, I guess, got checked too hard, and that's always happening. Somebody got checked. Next thing you know, dude, I mean, without a moment's hesitation, yanks his hockey gloves off to square off on this other fella. As soon as he does that, playing over the loudspeakers in the arena, people, I bull jive you not, playing over the loudspeakers in the arena starts to play Eye of the Tiger. I'm serious. I don't even remember the teams that were playing, but this was a common thing. So somebody checks the other fella in the hockey game, we're talking about Major League Hockey. Fella yanks his gloves off, and then as soon as he yanks his gloves off, the PA system, the folks in the dams with the PA system start playing Eye of the Tiger. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that during an NBA game? The Bulls versus the Pistons. And somebody get up in somebody's face, and then they start playing over the loudspeakers. Check that trick. Whoop that nigga. Check that trick. Could you imagine? It would be an international scandal. It would be an international scandal if that happened. And this, we're not just talking about a fight at the hockey game. The arena, the folks over the PA system, over the loudspeaker in the arena, start playing Eye of the Tiger when they square off. What the hell? If this was black men, they would be the commissioner would immediately come in and say that everybody's going to wear skinny jeans and they got to wear high shorts and we're going to have a dress code. If these were black men and they did something like that, the commissioner would come sauntering himself down. Everybody is going to be wearing pink overalls and sandals. And you're going to be required to wear a fanny pack and bobby socks. We need to soften up the game. We need to soften up the game so everyone will be required to wear sandals and bobby socks. That's what the hell they be doing. We're going to implement a new rule there. It will be a penalty if you put a full hand on somebody's back. So you can wave in front of them, make gestures, but you cannot come into physical contact. If you do, that will be half a season suspension. That's what the hell they would be doing. If this happened in an NBA game, that's what the hell would be going on. The commissioner would be sitting there demanding that all the fellas wear thongs and G-strings. We're having a new dress code, thongs and G-strings, rainbow G-strings. We need to get in touch with yourself. We need to show that this is not the same old NBA. That's what the hell they would be saying. And Stephen A. Smith would be sitting there. I know it seems a little odd. And I know, but when you do wrong things, they have consequences. When you do the wrong thing, there will be consequences. These folks here get to wild the hell out. These folks here get to wild the hell out. Folks, this ain't even on the damn track. This is back at the damn garage. Ain't somebody supposed to be getting arrested? This is like if some NBA players got into a fight back at the hotel. Not even at the arena, back at the hotel. Oh, well, that's racing, dude. It happens. Really? It is what it is. It's a part of racing. Really? It's a part of racing. Okay, but trash talking is not a part of the NFL. Spiking the ball isn't a part of the NFL. This can be a part of NASCAR. Damn me, a left hook is a part of hockey. But we supposed to sit up here and it's damn me strawberry shortcake when we show up. Don't let them Negroes get too aggressive over there. They're playing football. They're shoving. You shouldn't do that. They're playing football and shoving. We shouldn't do that there. Just keep it calm. Meanwhile, over NASCAR, it's the damn WWE. Over here in NASCAR, it's the damn UFC. But they're going to tell us we're the problem. So I want to take a moment to go ahead and observe that, man. This time is going on right here. Am I the only one who sees what the hell is happening? Am I the only one who sees what's going on here? Where's Stephen A. Smith to demand changes? Where is he to criticize the media for covering this up? Where is he to criticize country music, Confederate flags, and axe handles? Why they all got their jackets down? What is going on here? What is going on here? I don't get it. I'm not a race car fan like that, but I do know aggression when I see it. So I'm just curious here, folks. Is it just me? Or is this white rage getting out of control? Do we need to have a comptroller here? Do we need to have somebody come in and check this? We got folks driving into police stations. We got people slugging it out at NASCAR. We got all kinds of foolery going on, and nobody's talking about it except me. Some of y'all got kids out there. They're telling your children they doing too damn much, and meanwhile, it's like, oh, well, don't worry about this over here, dude. And telling us we're wrong. What in the world? But then again, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just too old-fashioned about it. Maybe I'm just getting paranoid. Maybe I don't see it the right way. Is that it? Am I upsetting people if I say that? Maybe I'm not seeing it the right way or not saying it the right way. And I'm intimidating people. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give you all a chance to weigh in. See if we have our technical issues resolved. The telephone number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the Blackest Radio program in existence, the only one of its kind on planet Earth today. As always, you are welcome to join us. Want to send a shout out here to Iris, Najee, and Mr. Walter. Thank you very much for contributing to tonight's program. And to everyone who has contributed on PayPal, CashApp, Venmo. Thank you very much for your support as well. We're talking now about white rage and privilege. They are killing your former assistants of the Duchess of York. They're driving into police stations. They're slugging it out at NASCAR. They're on national TV. The media is mum's the word. Folks, you can run over a whole damn police station and the media's like, meh. You ran over a whole damn police station. Folks, how far you got to go? Folks, this fella literally runs over a whole damn police station. And they're just like, they come around the corner like, meh. I mean, literally like there's not a damn car sitting in their police station. Come on out from around the car here, fella. Come on out from around here. Are you driving this vehicle? Do you see what the cop is doing here? He's like, did you drive? He's pointing like, is this your car? Did you drive this? Did you just see him get the hell out the damn driver's seat? You literally just saw him get out the driver's seat. Is this your car? Is this your car? Did you drive this through that door? Is this your car? Get out of this car. Come around here. Are you sure? Come over here. This is where we at. Meanwhile, if it was us, they would have come out bussing. If we were still alive, it was just because they missed us. That would have been it. That's the only reason that if you were still alive, we missed him. We were shooting at him, but missed. All right. They don't like it. Let me go ahead and get to the telephone lines. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the Black Channel. Let me go ahead and get caller from area code 323. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Big Brother Jason. This is Brother Elijah calling out of Harlem, New York.
Hi, Brother Elijah. What's on your mind?
Hey, Big Brother, I got a quick question pertaining to tonight's topic, which was mentioned earlier. Why is it these foreign bedwenches never learned a lesson? It's just been an ongoing thing for generations now. That's just my question, brother.
Well, I mean, you have to understand, it's when you're on a suicide mission. Okay,
yes,
let me try this a different way. How deeply do you believe in something? Because I want you to understand, everybody's got something most people have something that they're willing to die for. And as crazy or insane or as impractical as it might seem to you, they're willing to die for this, man. This is what they are willing to die for. This is what they are willing to put it all on the line for. This is what they are willing to risk life and limb for. Not for you, not for me, but for this. So literally, he can come around the corner with bloody butcher knife in hand, and she's like, I just got to take the risk. I got to risk it. There's not enough good white men to go around. Hell, there's not enough bad ones to go around. So we got to get in how we fit in.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Folks, I want you to understand that's really the way the motivation works. You've got things that you are willing to die for. As a black person and dealing with black first, you have things you're willing to die for. Well, this is what they're willing to die for. No joke, no kidding. She's willing to risk it. And as long as that mind state exists, and by the way, the family may be complaining, I'm just wondering who taught her that? Who taught her that? Who taught her that it was worth that level of risk? Who taught her that walk into the lion's den with your face first? Who taught her that? Caller from area code 360, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is AC calling from Vancouver, Washington.
Okay, AC from Vancouver. What's on your mind?
I just want to comment, kind of the segue on what you mentioned about how folks in the dominant society, especially you mentioned about the hockey games. I recall back in the 90s, my dad took me and my brother to one of the local hockey teams in Dallas, and it blew my mind the first time I saw the gloves come off and they started free for all. It was like brawl right there, and just how you just said, they over the PA they started playing these fight songs like to amp up and pump up the whole, like to egg on the fight, like they wanted, and the crowd was into it. So that just goes to show you it's common practice for folks in the dominant society to display their violence.
Well, yeah, but then again, like I say, and this is just way over the top. You ain't never seen the fellas sit up here and square off like that. You ain't never seen that. Over here, it's treated, Sanchez is only 22 years old. Could you imagine Kobe Bryant doing something like that? They would have said, this is what happens. You pushed him into the sport too soon. He's not mature enough. And this is what happens. They did this. They're not ready. They're not mature enough. And we need to really reevaluate all these people here. And that's what they be saying. That's what they would be saying. Never mind the damn people with the PA system playing the damn fight songs. Never mind that. Don't let that bother you. Never mind any of that. Never mind the TV cameras sitting there. Never mind that. And literally, you can see here, there's literally dozens of people out here. Dozens. And they're going to treat that like ain't nothing happened. Oh, well, dude, it's all about racing. And meanwhile, in the NFL, if you look at each other wrong, oh, we are going to have multiple game suspension here. And Kaepernick takes a knee and we shut the league down. Think about this for a few moments. Kaepernick takes a knee, shut the league down. These folks are out here having a Pier 6 brawl. Meh, swoop this under the rug. If that is not I'm white and I say so, I don't know what the hell is. I'll let you have the last word.
Oh, brother, you remember when Kyrie Irving shared a link and they were ready to put him under the guillotine? I mean, we can't even share a comment online. This, like you said, this was a full out brawl, and they treated it like it was just a Sunday afternoon kind of. Oh, there was just a squabble going on. It's nothing. It's okay. And I'll land my plane there, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 832. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey. Yeah, this is Brian from Houston.
All right, Brian from Houston, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch bases on what you were mentioning about the fights in those white sports, man. I used to work at Fox Sports, actually, and I'd watch a lot of NHL and baseball games. And I tell you, man, they start these NHL games with fights. Like, these dudes come in the door, they'd be having old beef, they want to rile out or some shit, and they just, as soon as the match starts, they'll just start fighting. And the baseball, too, they'll, like, hold on to beef, and then they'll start binging each other. Some dude on base, they'll bing him from a disrespect they felt he did a few games back. And it's like, people never mention it. They'll talk about it, the fans and the people in the room. They'll say, oh, yeah, that's why they did it. But after that, they just keep on going like the game is nothing happened.
Well, brother, in hockey, for example, they call them goons. So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight now. You ain't never in your life seen black men in professional sports. I mean, even with the head busters, you ain't never heard them refer to themselves as thugs, hoodlums, gangsters. You've never heard that. In hockey, they are openly referred to as goons. These are guys who have nominal scoring ability. I never will forget the first time they were sitting up here celebrating this mess. There was one guy, he literally, I forget what position they have in hockey. I don't know the damn positions. But he was a big fella, literally in the basement of his house, literally was a big old punching bag. Literally was a big duffel punching bag, and they're showing him working on his hook. And I'm like, now what part of hockey is this? So I'm literally sitting here watching ESPN with this guy in his damn basement slugging away on this damn punching bag like he's Rocky Balboa. He's not the least bit worried about his scoring shot. He's not the least bit worried about the best cleats or blades he can have. He's working on his hook and his jab. That's what he's working on. And they were talking about he's professional hockey. He's one of the goons. And I'm like, are you serious? So y'all sit up here and slur black men as thugs. This fella is sitting over here gloriously holding the goon banner. But you got something to say to us. Stop the world and let me off. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Boy, white privilege is great, ain't it? Caller area code 804. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Ben, Richmond, Virginia.
Dan, Richmond, what's on your mind?
Look, we should all be old enough not to allow our fetishes to steer out of control and be a detriment to us. I think a lot of these over-swirlers have let it go too far, and they're willing to die for it. Their willingness to die for it is evidence that they've allowed it to go too far. Um, let's get it. Let them get it through their head, please. You're not going to be a part of the white power structure, no matter who you marry. You're not going to be a part of. Ask Ketanji Brown. She's in the Supreme Court. She's still not a part of the power structure. You're not going to be a shot caller because of who you marry. You may get a little ease of doing business here and there, but it's not going to be where you're going to be running their show. You're going to be where you should put them. They've already placed you as a fetish that has gone a bit too far, and we're going to enjoy ourselves here and move on in white power. So,
and that's what they want, brother. I mean, you got to understand, that's what they want. The goal, I mean, when you talk about being a fetish, you're absolutely right about that. The whole point of slave play, just like, we're going to get to it tonight, just like the white men like to be degraded, the females who involve themselves in this, they like to be degraded too.
Sure.
I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, they like to be degraded too. They want to be. They feel like that makes them the object of focus and whatnot, and they want to be degraded. They want to be dogged out. They want to be, made to feel lower than dirt. I mean, it's a self-punishing, self-degrading thing, but it goes both ways. So sometimes they want to be dominant, but most of the time they want to be dominated.
Yeah, I understand it, but there's also this idea that they're going to be in there doing something major, that they're going to be big timers, big shot callers. This is an upgrade and all this other asinine ideas. That's not what that is at all. Not what that is at all. You will be in the corner. You'll get a little ease of doing business, but they will take you out, take mothballs off of you, and use you as for their little toy and put you right back in the closet, pretty much, no matter what your post or position in society is. You will not be a part of white power, none whatsoever.
I can hear what you're saying. I don't think that that's their goal, though. I think that they're happy. For the most part, they're actually just happy where they are. They just want to find somebody's ass to kiss and get up under there and just make themselves as comfortable as they are. They don't want power. They want recognition. And as far because recognition comes without responsibility. So it's like, okay, I get to be seen and I get to be a little princess and I get to be recognized and acknowledged without actually having to suffer any adverse consequences of making any real decisions.
Yeah, but there's some of them take it as an achievement.
Oh, absolutely.
Some sort of achievement
to get that high is an achievement. She's like, I beat out the other bed wenches.
The rest of you have.
Well, no, take it from their perspective. I beat out the other bed wenches. That's the way they see it. I beat out the rest of you. There was a big competition between us to kiss daddy's ass, and I beat the rest of you. And to you and me, it is a parade of the insane. But for them, this is the culture.
Yeah, it's just. It's just an embarrassing situation. I really don't like to see black women and black men behave that way. Have their noses wide open for just their fetishes and their one night stands going too far. I really believe that they should be moving towards creating power of our own in our own little centers, wherever they may be.
Well, I mean, you have a good idea about that. Here's the problem. You can't build power with somebody who's desirous to be degraded and dominated. There's the problem. You can't build power with them. Yeah. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. You can't build a power base with somebody who's saying, hey, give me some white ass to kiss. Okay, we can't build anything with you. We're not looking to kiss in the ass, any feet, or anything else. And she's like, hey, point me in the direction of some ass. Okay. We are at cross purposes. Caller America code 702. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay. Caller from area code 702 has been abducted. as I say here, some folks are angry out there. They got rage, they got privilege, and they are flexing it. Call from area code 404. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Jason. It's Sophia from Atlanta.
Sophia from Atlanta. What's on your mind?
Well, I just wanted to call in about that swirling, that the first story you did with the lady suspect, her husband. So what these channels, when I'm watching these swirler channels, they're like telling black women that it's safe to trust these men. You don't have to vet them. They're basically saying they have a pass to have access to women.
They have a path and they have access to women.
Yes, it's like they don't have to be vetted. You know, they're giving these women like a false sense of security with these Caucasian men. And I wish they'd stop doing that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the definition of a fetish. It's a fantasy. By its definition, you have this fantasy idea that this person is going to do X, Y, Z for you. They're going to make you feel a certain way, and they're going to conform to all of your expectations of how that's going to occur. Problem, you about to meet the real damn thing. And the real person that you're going to meet, they got their own ideas about what's going to happen. And they just want you to hold still while they do whatever they're going to do here. But you're absolutely right. I mean, these are these incubators that condition them for that. They condition them for it. Hell, they make them compete for it. Just understand, folks, in the modern era, I mean, you all should know this if you don't know it. Man, these dudes like this fella, they are very well aware of what's happening. Over on Coon Twitter, they're very well aware of what's happening. They're very well aware of what's happening. They know what's happening among the African immigrants, the Caribbeans. These guys go down there on vacation to go see what they can go get. So they're very well aware of what's going on. They're very well aware of how desirous and desperate these chicks are. And they know where to look. They know what they're looking for. These are not foreign things to them. This is not a mystery. Everything that we are talking about, these guys already know it. And they're not just looking for black women. They're looking for black women, Asian, Arab, but there are certain things that they prefer. So if they really want to feel dirty, they go get a black female. But then what's right below the surface? What's right below that surface? When they go get a black female, you got to start wondering what's right below that. Where is this really going? When a fella is interested in that with you, it's like, yeah, he's going to be like, okay, let me get my massa slave thing on. And these chicks sit up there, and if they're just totally honest about it, and sometimes they are, that's what they're really looking for. They don't have a problem with being degraded. They're just like, okay, can we get some white men to do it? That's the lick. That's when you've hit peak, degrading. Can we get a white man to do that? And then it just becomes, it becomes a slugfest to get there. That's what it becomes. It becomes that. Because take this case in point. You got a sister, and I'm talking about a biological sister. Let's just say you have a biological sister, and she's with this dude, and you call her up on the phone, and he's calling her every type of nigga B there is. And you're sitting there hearing this. And you're like, I don't know if y'all working out over there. And she's like, stay out the business. And she's getting her slave play on. So that's just the cost of doing business. You've seen this. We talk about black males. They go out here and go catch them something from fresh out the trailer park, from the double wide or triple wide. I mean, it always turns out the same way. Eventually, she gonna get around to calling you nigga. Eventually, this honey boo boo built chick gonna get around to calling you nigga at some point. Then all of a sudden, he's sitting over there boo-hooing and singing the blues. Because it went left. It was okay before folks heard it. Now it's like, okay, now they heard it. Now they don't like it. So imagine if you have a sister and you hear that going on and she's sitting up here, that's just the cost of doing business. Next thing you know, it's like, okay, ma'am, he ain't saying those words because he doesn't mean it. That's not why he's doing it. Folks have it in their minds, well, why would he sleep with me if he don't like black women? Man, are you kidding me? That's the part they can't get their heads around, or they refuse to get their heads around. Well, if he wants to have sex with me, then he must like me. And literally, if you ask them, okay, so guys who are in prison for rape, did they like those women? Oh, of course not. Okay. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, just black women. Don't think just because they're white, they're right. You'll be surprised how they're just waiting to take an opportunity to take you and unliven you out there. Just be careful, ladies.
No, just let sit back and let them do what they're going to do. Let them do what they're going to do. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller code 417. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Al from Springfield, Missouri. Yeah, I want to continue on with this divestiture movement that's going on right here. And I think the reason why they're doing this is that they're trying to get white woman status. They're trying to be Mrs. Cartwright when they're doing this kind of slave play stuff.
Absolutely. It's their fantasy. It's their fantasy that if I can get next to him, then I'm elevating my status.
Yeah. They just want to they're trying to become white supremacists. Kind of like, Candace Owens. And, what's really interesting is that this past week, you see all these divestors boo-hooing, crying because Travis Kelce is now going out with Taylor Swift and everything else. They were showing images of his last girlfriend, her body shape and everything else, talking about comparing her to the thin, more type of appealing white woman of Taylor Swift and everything else. And I keep on telling some of these sisters, white men want that type of woman. They want a Taylor Swift.
Okay, I think we're overcomplicating it. You could have just stopped when you said white men want that kind of woman. White men want a white woman. I mean, they will dabble with your dark chocolate as a fetish, but at the end of the day, take a look at the social order. A white man wants a white woman. This idea that somehow you are just so great and wonderful that you're going to supplant that's a delusion you're feeding to yourself. You're not feeding it to him. You're lying to yourself. You're not lying to him. At the end of the day, he wants a white woman. And here's the real thing. Chicks like that, they sit up here and try to imitate as many white female affectations. Look it up. They sit up here and try to imitate as many white female mannerisms as they can. So it's not like she's sitting up here being a typical black female that you would meet in society. She sits up here and tries to become a pathetic version of the white girls that she sees. Okay, well, can you get upset when eventually this white man does not want a knockoff white woman? He wants the real damn thing.
Perfect example is the septum movement that some of these sisters, put on their nose, their eyes and all that, doing all that type of funny stuff and everything else to try to appeal to some of these Caucasian men and everything out in Europe when they do that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, they want to look animalistic. They want to look bestial. They know what they're doing in that regard. They're just hoping that the rest of you don't figure out, or if you do, well, it doesn't matter as long as Zaddy's with it. So it really is where, degradation it used to be something that was just kept at home. Now they're just walking down the street with it here, and all that really does make you a target. And these guys are out looking for targets. They're out looking for them.
Yep.
At best, you're going to end up getting slutted out for a year or two. And then he tosses you to the side like a dish rag. At worst, well, there are worse things that can happen than that. But you have to be desirous for it to happen.
Yep. I mean, and going on Inside Edition like Travis's first girlfriend was doing is not a good look when you go up there complaining about that.
Oh, I mean, that is peak cringe, brother. That's peak cringe. Is this guy really worth this level of groveling these chicks are doing? But what he's showing is that, it attracts. These men can attract bed wenches like flies to rotten fruit. That there's a trail of them. And that's what I was saying before. You think the white men don't know this? You think the white men all across America are not fully aware of this? Please, they're swimming in ass kissers. They're swimming in them. These guys, and here's the real thing. Travis has got a bit of a name to him because of his profession. But this guy on the screen here, this is just an average run-of-the-mill white dude. Nothing special about him. Nothing great about him. Nothing extraordinary about him, except he's white. Nothing else. And you and me can obviously see the danger signs. He didn't have to do or be anything else. Now, if you get a white dude who's got some sort of accomplishment to him or name to him, whatever, oh man, look here, it's Katie barred the damn door. Here we go. But nobody should be surprised because this is the way it works, man. This is the way it works. Nobody should be surprised about that. The girlfriends, the ex-girlfriends, the rest of them, you're just making an ass of yourself. No one should be surprised by it. That's the real issue right there. How could you possibly be surprised that he's going to look up here one day and have him a white woman? Now, please keep something in mind. Now, Travis, I just looked it up here. Travis is what, 33 years old?
33 years old, originally from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, now think about this for a few moments. We've been talking about this forever. He's right at the age he's supposed to be. When you think about it, he's right at the age he's supposed to be. What do the white girls and white boys do in their 20s? They go do their sexual experimentation. The white girls when they're in college, the white boys after they get out of college, they go ahead and do all their sexual experimentation. They go get their little black girls and whatnot. Now they want to do the Asian chicks. They want to mix that up too. They go do their experimentation, get that out of their damn systems, and when they finally do reach their 30s or 40s, when it's time to actually settle down and make a family, okay, let me go get me a white chick with some sense. That's what happens. So Travis he's right. He's hitting right where he's supposed to be. He's 33 years old. He's staring at 40. He's looking at the end of it. When you get your 30s, you're looking at the end of your pro sports career, or at least you should be having that at the front of your mind. You got more prime years behind you than you do in front of you. Yes, about now he needs to be looking at, okay, who we gonna make this genetic commitment to? It's not gonna be none of these chicks. Why? Because you were kissing his ass. He's not gonna trust you to raise his legacy. You're a bedwench ass kisser. He wants a chick who knows how to raise a white legacy. He doesn't want your little cornball ass sitting here. You are the help. You are the fling. You are the summer amusement. And when he's done with you, he's done with you. And that's right the age you're supposed to be.
You're not Mrs. Cartwright. You're not Mrs. Cartwright.
Boy, that's got to be heartbreaking for them. They had their little fantasy. Boy, there's like, we're going to march off in the sunset. You know, when somebody's going to the sunset, you're going to stay here. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Like I say, when you go by the ages of it, folks, we've been telling you now for over a decade. When you take a look at the ages, when the white girls go to college, that's when they go get with the black football players and they go have their mandingo fantasies and their group sex and all that damn stuff. And then when she gets about 24, 25, okay, it's time to start shaking that off and getting serious. It's time to start doing that. For the white fellas, the runway is a little bit longer, but once they hit their 30s, it's like, okay, my money getting together right, my social status getting together right. Let me go get me a white chick. Oh yeah, my little dirty brown sugar. If I ain't messed around and got her pregnant, let me sweep that to the side. Let me go ahead and get that off of here. Caller from area code 405. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, Al, Oklahoma City.
Al in Oklahoma City. What's on your mind?
So, hey, Jason, I had a question for you. I was looking at a dynamic between, black and white, male, female. And when I look at a lot of I guess more affluent, mixed NFL players, professional sports players, I see, like kind of what you were saying, that generally the white males are more on code, but you do have the white females that generally I see a dynamic of black father, white mother. I never see a story where, unless it's The Blind Side, right, and he said that he was getting used or he got exploited, but I never see a dynamic of a black, or rather, excuse me, a white male and a black female dynamic when you talk about like a Aaron Gordon, the Ball brothers, right? Even here you got the Blake Griffins, right? You got Tommy Griffin being black, his mother is white. I haven't seen a dynamic where, like you said, the males are more kind of in your face about their racism, about, yeah, we don't really give a fuck about you really, and the females again is a little different, I guess, for the white females.
Well, like I say, I mean, definitely when a man has to think about what he's going to do for his genetic legacy in white society, that's the conversation that is constantly going on and constantly being, circulated. That's constantly going on. Black folk, you delude yourself. You don't think this goes on all of the time. If you take a look again here, also take a look. Taylor Swift is the same age as Travis Kelce is. They're both 33. They're both the same age. Everything's lining up perfectly. If he's thinking about where he's going to go and what he's going to do, when you think about that for a few moments, it's exactly where it's supposed to be. The black chick ain't going nowhere else. She's not going anywhere. And what can she do besides be subservient? It's like, no, he's got to make a practical decision. Bed wenches don't have character. There's the problem. Bed wenches don't understand. The problem with you is that you don't have character. You don't have integrity. You jumped in this man's lap. He can see what you're here for. He can see you're screwed up and imbalanced. Bed wenches don't have character or integrity. If he's going to make a lifelong commitment, he needs somebody who's got character and integrity. And playing around with you for the summer might be fun, but at the end of the day, he's going to make a practical decision. And that practical decision is going to be, yeah. Now, I think what they're really upset about is the fact that he was so quick about it. I think that's what they're really upset about. He was so quick about it. I'm talking about Travis Kelce. I think they were upset that he was so quick about it because what that tells you is that he was already talking to Taylor on the low. And he just gave you your walking papers when he got ready to do that. That's not what's supposed to happen if you've deluded yourself into thinking that you've got some intrinsic value. Because you've been telling yourself there's no way such a thing could occur. Yeah, there is certainly a way that could occur. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, and, like you were saying before, I was reading something where she was paying, I think, his bills and her bills, was it not? And, when you think of if that would have been a brother, you know what I mean? There's no way she would have probably paid, her bills and his bills. She'd have been asking their brother to, fit the bill. We're talking about Kayla Nicole. She'd have been, asking their brother to fit the bill. And so we need these sisters to really just try to, again, get back on point and ride with the brothers, be a little bit more understanding to this society and what's going on, because it's really it's sad out here.
I don't want anything. I just want more chicks like her who carry their banners openly. That's what I want. I want the ones, as far as I'm concerned, she's done us a favor by just putting it out there in the open. That's all I ask.
So do we accept them back? Do we accept them back, Jason? I mean, when she try to come back to the, to our side, what we gonna do to her? What should we?
I don't have anything against them. I just don't have anything for them. So when they come back over here trying to knock on the door, it's like, hey, you got something against me? I have nothing against you. I just don't have anything for you. So as far as I'm concerned, when you start expressing that type of contempt, and this goes for everybody, when you start expressing that kind of contempt, I think it'd be a whole lot better for you to stay over there. I'm certainly not going to encourage or advocate for anyone to take that kind of risk, because you've shown utter contempt is what you have. And I think that it's far past time that we stop allowing people to show us contempt.
Well said, for sure.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. You can go out whenever you want to, do whatever you want to and whatnot, but when you start showing contempt, yeah, I don't have anything for you. I really ain't got nothing for you. I really ain't got nothing for you. When you cross over there and do that, it better work. It better work. It better work out. Because now you've shown contempt. And we have no obligation to accept individuals who show us utter contempt. She comes slithering back because her attempt at showing disdain and disrespect for us didn't pan out the way she hoped it was. Well, you know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, stay your ass over there. Call of Mary Code 561, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Ron from Palm Beach, Florida.
Okay, Ron from Palm Beach, what's on your mind?
No, I was just commenting on what you said about Travis Kelce. You're absolutely correct because, like you said, when they're young, they get their rocks off. You know what I'm saying? They go pick our best and brightest women when they're young. And it was funny because he was all urbaned out. He used to get like the little nice little tapers and the low haircut and stuff like that, and even do the little dances and he played it to the perfect tee to what you would think that our women are attracted to. But he played the long ball game. He understand that when football's said and done and he want to get in the commentator booth or run for governor or something like that, he know he gotta get him a little teeny white woman. Taylor Swift, perfect. And he played it to a T. And I don't understand like how people don't see this happen over and over again, like how the same game get played, how this bed wish mentality is dangerous. Like it's dangerous, and they hit them at their best and brightest years when they're young, and you have wasted your youth, or you end up like Halle Berry or something like that, where when you was young and beautiful and every black man on the planet wanted you, you weren't even studying us, and now that you all used up and they didn't got the best years up out you and they didn't moved on, you used up. You know what I mean? So that's just the part I wanted to hit.
Well, as men, but particularly as black men, we have to have a lot. We have to be, I'm just going to say, we're going to have to be a lot more rigid about that. We are going to have to make it a point here where we don't just sit up here and sleep with anybody, old slob hog. We can't sit up here and do that. Black men have got to start saying no. N-O. And just make it very clear that this is what it is and this is why it is. Females coming to us with their nasty ass sex habits, their nasty sexual histories, their contempt, their disdain. You know, you're the last thing I would allow. You're the last thing I'll go for here. So let me go ahead and come to you as my last resort. And I'm of a mind that if I'm your last resort, then I shouldn't be in a resort at all. And as black men, we have got to start making that the way that we respond to things, that we don't let folks sit up here and treat us like their last resort, that we don't allow that, period, at all. Black men have got to start saying no. We got to start hurting feelings. We got to start breaking hearts. We got to start breaking folk down so that they stop diminishing us. Because take a look at this. Black men are regarded as the folks who take folks' trash. That's the problem. So when you condition people to believe that you're the guys who tolerate trash, well, don't be surprised when everybody's coming to you with their trash. And well, if all else fails, there's a black male out there somewhere who's making six figures who will tolerate you. No, we have to start being very rigid about that and we need to work on a new reputation, being known as the guys who say no. We got to be known for that. We got to be known for that. We got to get that as our reputation. And you don't want to fool around with black men because they'll tell you no in a minute. They will cut you off quick. Hell no. But that really only applies if you have standards, and you can't have well, it's harder to have standards when you know you have no options. So as men, we got to get each other together and say, hey, you got to get yourself together, because if you're wearing the same uniform I'm wearing, and our black skin is the same uniform, you're wearing the same uniform I'm wearing, you can't wear it raggedy. Because if people see enough black men walking around raggedy, then they're going to assume I'm raggedy too, and I'm not. So we really got to sit here and get other men together and let them know, hey, these are the rules. These are the rules. We got standards. We don't do that. Fellas gotta sit up here and check the paperwork and check the pedigree. It's a damn shame dudes in prison got better standards than dudes on the street. But it's true.
Wow.
Dudes in prison got better standards than dudes on the street. In prison, you're held to a standard, and the other men hold you to that. Out here on the street, niggas are just freestyling. They're just out here freestyling. Just whatever they doing. Wildcatting. But in other organizations, man, you're held to a standard, and you got to toe that line. You are expected to do that on your own. And if somebody finds out you're not doing it, there's going to be consequences. That's how we supposed to run things out here. Dudes, their paperwork has got to be straight. Their paperwork has got to be straight, man. So we need to start having that mentality that out here on the streets, dudes' paperwork got to be right. Your woman is your representative as a man. Your woman is your representative. And if you sitting up here dragging around a bed winch, it's like, dude, I know you raggedy. I'm taking a look at her. Her paperwork ain't checked out, and she next to you. So your paperwork ain't checking out.
Thanks.
Your paperwork is bad. Your paperwork's dirty in the yard. We can already see that. So as black men, that's what we got to have. Because the thing is with Travis, I ain't mad at Travis. He just doing, how can I be upset with him? He doing what he do. You couldn't see this coming? How can I be mad at him? He doing what he do. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him any more than I'm mad at Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo was running around with the Wayans brothers to get on TV. She Puff Daddy and the rest of them to get her name out there. As soon as her name got big, she went and married Mark Anthony. How am I supposed to be mad at? And I predicted all of that. I said she's going to marry a Latino, which she did. How am I going to get mad at that? Why would I be angry or upset about that? This was predictable. It's predictable. Mm-hmm. You can see this coming. Travis is doing what he was supposed to do. He hopped into bed with all these females, but he never got confused. That's the difference. The bed wenches jumped in the bed and got confused. Travis never got confused. He knew who and what he was and was never confused that he was some artificial substitute black male. That never once got through his mind. Don't let somebody playing around with hairstyles confuse your ass. It just amazes me to see folks out here. You see white girls put their hair in cornrows and you think, who's she down? You got to be the dumbest nigga.
Right.
You're confused because you want to be confused. She ain't confused. She can sit up here and jump in the sack with the whole damn defensive squad and the special teams. And she's going to get out that bed not confused. Jason, how do you know? Because the first time y'all get approached by the police, she gonna Becky up on you. She gonna be sitting there with her hair twisted and braided and talking all that Krayshawn mess. Just as soon as the police take her in that room over here, I'm Quantavious and Ladarius and Jamal. I didn't know anything about this. She gonna stop all that. Yeah, y'all back on up over here. I kept me outside. As soon as the police said, yes, my name is Becky Lynch. Yes, I don't know anything about this. I just want to go home to my dad. Okay, she's not confused. These niggas sitting over here looking all crazy. She's not confused. They never been confused. This is their idea of a summer vacation. This is their idea of sexual adventurism. And then once they get out their system, now they're going to go back to their society and go live out their lives, and then that's it. You sitting over here confused thinking that Travis is ultimately going to make some damn commitment to you. That he's going to pass up all these white women throwing their drawers at him so he can keep you. No, he's going to go get a white woman who is accomplished, a white woman with a name, a white woman who these chicks are a drag on Travis. He's going to go get him a white woman who's not a drag on him. He can go give his full effort, give his full name and everything else, and she's not a drag on him. These other chicks are trying to eat off his name. He's like, okay, fine. But now he's through with you eating off him. And now he's shown you what he can really pull. He's shown you what he can really get. And the real problem is It's a bunch of white men who want Taylor Swift. Period. Travis got her, so you can't say that he, as far as females, you can't claim that he got downgraded. You can't claim that. And you hate it because she's got something you don't have. She's white. There's nothing you can do that will make you white. You like, he was like that the whole time. Yeah, he was like that the whole time. He was like this the whole time. Summer vacation is over. He's ready to think about what the next 50, 60 years is going to be like. And he's doing the only logical thing he could have done. So watch these chicks. They're going to do one or two things. They're either going to try to find some down and out white dude they can hobble next to next, although I don't think that's going to work out very well. Or they're going to go try to find some mid-level black dude who's ready and willing to take Travis's leftovers. I'll let you have the last word.
Nah, you hit it all spot on. Hey, but and what's gonna be crazy, you look probably about 10 years down the road, right? And it probably will come out that he still messing with black chicks. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a sexual fetish thing. Hey, the chick was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? She had all the dynamics and all the measurements. But like you said, Travis ain't confused. He know where the end goal at. He know where he gonna lay. He know where his legacy needs to go. So he's not gonna allow his sexual preferences stand in the way of what he needs to do as far as his whiteness needs to go. So
I think that's
appreciate you doing.
I think that's a bit of a misnomer.
Awesome program, man.
Thank you very much for giving us a call. I think that's a bit of a misnomer. Black folk have got to get it through our heads that this idea that we are the sexual masters of the universe and that we are everyone's sexual preference, that's a coping mechanism. That is a social and personal character flaw and coping mechanism. This idea that everybody aspires to sexual contact with us and we're their preference, that's a coping mechanism. Furthermore, even if it were true, it's worthless. That's like saying that you're the favorite ride at Six Flags. Everybody loves to come ride me. Okay. Could you imagine the Ferris wheel or the roller coaster at Universal Studios trying to brag about how many folk want to ride it? That has no value. So this idea that, well, people like to have sex with us. And I'm telling you, I don't think that was the case. I don't think it's ever the case. People, it's really about just trying you out. It's just like, okay, let me see what that's like. Let me see what that experience is like. And then it's like, man, I'm over it. You all think about this for a few moments. Think about your favorite pair of shoes. How long did you wear it before? You may have worn it a few times like, this is fantastic. How many times did you have to wear it before it wasn't fantastic anymore? So I think we put way too much value on that. And because we want other folk to have that value, we need for them to put tremendous value on it, because other than that, what you bring to the stable? Because at the end of the day, you can't stop being black. So it's like, okay, well, there has to be something intrinsically valuable about you being black. Well, our sex game is unlike these other folks over here. Well, that's an opinion. Don't know if it's a fact. But by the way, the crazy part about it is you saying that about the black females, and meanwhile, the black fellas are over here saying that about the white girls or the Asian or whoever shows up. So this is a projection that gets put out there. I submit to you there's a projection with no value, that even if it were accurate, it still has no value. I'm his favorite female ride. Okay, well, you're going to be the favorite female ride who can't get any further. How many of you would trade in your SUV for the roller coaster at Six Flags? The roller coaster at Six Flags may be more fun, but are you ever going to try to go to work in one? Well, I have a whole lot more fun with that roller coaster at Six Flags. Let me trade in my Bentley. No, I don't think you will. It doesn't really work that way. It doesn't really work that way. Caller from area code 415, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Denise in San Francisco.
Denise in San Francisco, what's on your mind?
I was going to say, a number of white guys have gotten in my face, and they would make me nervous, and I'd hurt them the hell away. Because all that stuff they did for the last 2,000 years goes through my head, going all the way back to the days of the Greeks, the Romans, the British, the Spanish, the Nazis. I said to myself, even if he ever was sincere and really wanted to marry and produce children, I said to myself, now, a switch might go off in his head, and I'll be one of his statistics. And I thought it was interesting that the papers and the media seem to be filled lately with how many women he killed that he married, black and white women. I know he has to looking at what he did over the last 2,000 years. That man's head has got to be filled with neuroses and psychosis that's gonna come out. And don't forget about his family. You marry him, you got the family neuroses and psychosis that can show up as well.
Well, definitely more
That's
important than his motives or what your motives are. If you are meeting or approaching anyone, allowing people into your company, and you've got bad, corrupted, ulterior motives, there's just simply no way that can turn out well. That's the problem. Because if you're in search of something that's bad or corrupted, the worst part isn't if you don't find it. The worst part is if you do. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get caller America 412. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening, Jason. My name is Robert. I'm calling from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
All right, Robert, what's on your mind?
The logic is people are allowed to make their own decision. Runaway Slave 2.0 does many videos on how these melanated women are deleted and abused. Nellie Fuller describes these women and men who swirl as being very negative in their description. Remember how Mrs. America was found dead out of her window, and she was dating outside of her race? It's a disoriented self-esteem illness, black women allow these dogs who are using them as sexual dumping grounds for their perversions. And we as black men and black women, we need to up our game so that we can be more attractive to each other. We need to be in shape. We need to cut a little cigarettes and alcohol and drinking and all that stuff and start loving each other so that we won't fall victim to the men and the women of opposite races. And that's what the problem is, because when that happens, we're genocidally exterminating our people. And it's an upgrade when they mix in with us and tie into the vine. To them, they've accomplished something, but we don't see that. We think that we're upgrading ourselves, but we're really downgrading ourselves when we make these moves.
Well,
That's
absolutely.
what I wanted to say.
There's
and
the
lady,
whole point.
The lady that,
if I can make you comfortable downgrading yourself, that's the sweet spot. If I can turn you downgrading yourself into something that's fun, brother, I found the sweet spot.
Exactly. And so I'm really concerned because I'm seeing on the news how many of our women are being abused by other cultures and getting away with it. The latest one that really bothered me was this missionary went to Africa. And what he did to that little girl was just horrific. And the newspaper media tried to exonerate him and downplay it. But the persistence of the black community magnified his atrocity. And so we have to be very diligent and very careful about who we deal with. And just be encouraged, people, because you will be able to attract somebody that's going to be in your same race that's going to build something with you. And Jason, again, as always, I enjoy your shows so much, and you spreading out so much information that we need to take heed to. Thank you for being there, brother.
Thank you for giving us a call here tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 804. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you're on live. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Caller is apparently stuck in the car wash on the spin cycle, so hopefully they get out of there. Caller from area code 865, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Brother Esteban, calling from Nashville, Tennessee.
Esteban from Nashville, what's on your mind?
I've been a listener for a long time of you, Jason, even though I disagree with most of what you're saying. I have to ask you a question because you have mentioned this several times before about so-called interracial access. And my question to you is well, two questions. Number one, have you seen black women? And two, can you blame black men for wanting to, quote unquote, get interracial sexual access? I mean, we have the fattest, obese women on the planet. I mean, how can you fault brothers for doing that?
Okay. Well, certainly I don't argue with people over their dating preferences. So that's never been something that I argue or debate with them over. They're grown people. They can do as they please. It's not like they're the first. It's not like their interracial relationship is going to be the beginning of the world nor the end of it. So let me be very clear about where my position is. My position is people can do whatever they want in that regard. However, I would also admonish them, look it up. I would also warn them that decisions have consequences. And that what I've always said is that if your motives are impure and corrupted, if you have bad ulterior motives, then just understand this is not going to turn out well. So there's the position that I come at it from. I come at it from that one. Now, there's a logical fallacy in what you just said, however. The logical fallacy is that you're making the assumption that the situation outside of black society is somehow better than it is inside black society. And that would be a logical okay, slow down, sir.
75% of kids out of wedlock.
Sir, put your crack pipe back up. We don't talk while the host is talking, sir. Thank you very much. You're making the assumption, fallacious as it is, that the situation is somehow, quote unquote, better. Here's the problem with that statement. YouTube's red pill community was started by white men whose complaints were, and still are about white women. So if everything is so great and sweet and Swayze over there, you wouldn't have the white red pill movement as it exists today that is alive and flourishing. You wouldn't have that if that statement were accurate. So if that statement is accurate, why is it that the white guys have so many of the same complaints?
May I answer that question, if please? I think part of that reason is because of the court system. So the issue that white men have is not necessarily with white women per se in and of themselves. It's more of the systems that put them in positions.
That's not true, sir. No, sir, that is not true. They complain about white women's attitudes. They complain about white women and feminism. That's not the court system. They complain about white women putting their credence, sir. They complain about white women putting their precedent on their jobs. They complain about white women wanting to have positions of authority over white men.
That's all by mandate,
sir.
Laws and court.
Sir, those are not laws, sir. Those are social norms, sir. What you're doing right now is lying. You're not even partly being factual.
No, I'm not.
You're just lying.
Sir. No, I'm
sir,
not lying.
There's no court that mandated that white women should be sitting up here trying to have authority over white men, and there's no court that's given it to them.
Affirmative action has benefited white women more than it's benefited black men. So how can you say it's not done by courts when they've been the biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action?
Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay, sir.
White women have
been big
beneficiaries of affirmative action. So how can you say it's not a system?
Affirmative action, sir. Affirmative action has absolutely nothing to do with any of this.
But you said it wasn't courts. You said it was
Sir,
wasn't courts.
you're okay.
And
What you're telling
and I'm
everyone,
saying that
what you're
white
telling
men's
everyone right
complaints
now,
are not just of
sir,
white
what you're
women's
telling everyone right
attitude
now
per se.
is that white feminism is a product of affirmative action.
The enforcement of it is. I'm saying the enforcement of
So
it
you're
is.
saying that white feminism
Not
is
the
being
attitude itself.
enforced by affirmative action.
No, I'm saying it's being enforced by courts and the system.
Okay,
and I'm
tell
saying
me
affirmative action is only a small piece of
court.
that.
Tell me the court that is enforcing affirmative action in white men's.
Okay, so
in white,
once again, you're
excuse
picking,
me, sir.
You're picking and choosing.
Tell me the court,
I said
sir.
affirmative action
Sir,
is a part of it.
Sir,
A
you're
part.
not gonna. If you
A
talk over
part.
the sir, if you talk over the host again, you'll be gone. You hear the host just fine.
I want to answer your question.
Sir, you are emotional and immature and anal retentive. That's fine, but you cannot speak over the host. I'm hosting my program.
Well, let me answer your question,
sir,
please.
okay.
May I answer your question?
All right. The host has told him that just because his mama's put a pacifier up his rump, you can't talk over the host. So yeah, we're not going to do that. First of all, that's just silly as hell. That's the first thing. Some of you guys out here, I need for you to go to therapy and resolve these issues with your mothers. That's the first thing I need for you to do. I need you to resolve your issues with your mothers. That's the first problem. The white men are making the exact same complaints that everyone else is. They're complaining about white women being overweight. They're complaining about white women's attitudes. They're complaining about white women being educated, being a major problem. They're complaining about white women being belligerent. They're complaining about white women not being feminine, having blue-colored hair. They're complaining about the white women being single moms. They're complaining about the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Down the line. That's the problem. The white guys are saying the exact same thing. There's a YouTuber named Spencer Cornelia. How many of you heard of Spencer Cornelia? This is a guy who ostensibly talks about scammers. How many of you heard of Spencer Cornelia? Give me the hand up emoji in the chat room if you heard of Spencer. I'm going to make a point here for all the ADHD crack babies and lead pipe babies, by the way. I want to make a point here. If you heard of Spencer Cornelia on YouTube, give me the hand up emoji. If you've heard of Spencer. Well, Spencer has done interviews, and Spencer has made it very clear, he doesn't really dig white women. He digs Asian chicks, particularly Filipino. That's Spencer Cornelia, makes a gang of money on YouTube. Little white dude, doesn't have any urban affectations to him. And yet he's like, yeah, I don't really fool with white women. I'm really into Asian women. And he's not the only one. We can go down the damn list. We can go down the list. So this idea that the grass is greener over there, why don't you ask Spencer Cornelia about, well, what's your problem then? Because you got guys like Doofus who got off the phone here talking about, why wouldn't you date outside the race? Okay, and the white dudes over there saying, yeah, we've had enough of that. So this isn't me making it up. They're over there with the white women telling you, not so much. Not so much. This idea that there's some nirvana and we're going to get some white folk to sit up here and save us. And if we can go ahead and that there's some other group out there somewhere that is looking to be our saviors and looking to assimilate with us and all that mess. There's the problem. There's the problem. When somebody sits up here and tells you that white society's got some saviorism or Asian society's got some saviorism for us, let me get this straight. So you don't think that a white supremacist society is just as undesirable as an overweight, belligerent female? Okay, so these females, they belligerent and overweight, okay? And over there, they're white supremacists. Ain't no issue there, man. I do that. Same thing in Asian society. Same thing in Latino society. So you got to understand, when you're dealing with imbalanced, disaffected individuals, they're willing to risk their lives. They're willing to risk their lives. Also, another thing, brother, you might want to understand that no group of women like a whiny ass male. That's the first thing. No woman desires to have a whiny ass, nagging, overgrown Dennis the Menace, mama's boy, Pee Wee Herman talking male. Females ain't really digging that dude. So the issue isn't black women so much as the fact that I think it's when they pick up that whiny ass energy off of you, man. So yeah, you're going to be stuck with the tortoise built chicks because, no female is really looking to have some whiny ass dude talking like that. Nobody's looking really to have that. They really not, man. So that may bother you and that might be a problem, but you're pointing the finger at the black women, but it's like, I don't think that attitude you have is really preferred among any group. I don't think you're going to find any females anywhere. That's the guy I'm looking for. This little whiny ass nagging nigga over here. That's what I don't think that's what they're looking for. So I'm all in favor of accuracy, that's sure. But if you're these whiny ass dudes talking about what black women need to do differently. And my real thing about it is, first of all, I think that's corny as hell that you would be concerned that you're worrying about, oh, well, what these other fellas and their dating habits. I don't think why would you need to be an advocate for that? You should be like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods sat up here and slept with hella white women. Didn't talk to nobody about nothing. He didn't call up anybody's YouTube program. He didn't get on social media. He didn't make a TikTok. He didn't do an interview about it. Tiger Woods was laying up with anything white that would throw them legs open from Florida to Saskatchewan. Didn't say nothing to nobody. He just do what he do. Well, that's somebody who's for real about that. He's not trying to get attention. He's not trying to get shine. He's not fake about it. You fellas who are out here wishing you had that kind of sexual access, you're calling up programs and why would you have a problem with that? I don't have a problem with that, but the motives need to be one way. Well, they all messed up over here. Okay, it was the white women who messed Tiger Woods up, by the way. By the way, it's the white women who messed Tiger Woods up. Ain't I right? Everybody, do you remember? It's the white women who messed Tiger Woods up.
And deal with it, nigga.
But it's true. Remember? First, the white women was sitting up here blowing up his phone so damn much he couldn't keep his wife from seeing it. Ellen Nordegren, I mean, she was the whitest of the white. And I don't even think she was from America originally. I want to say she was from Norway or whatever, Scandinavian country. Ellen Nordegren was the whitest of the white women. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed. It don't get no whiter than Ellen Nordegren. It doesn't get any whiter than her. Period. And it doesn't get any more non-hood than Ellen Nordegren. And she was right down there in Winter Park or Winter Haven, Florida, smashing his windshield with a golf club. Like world star hip hop. You want to talk about attitude? That little blonde-haired, blue-eyed Swedish chick was sitting out there in the middle of the damn street smashing the windshield of his Cadillac SUV with a golf club. People, that's an attempted assault with a deadly weapon. Do you understand that? That's attempted assault with a deadly weapon. She never got charged, by the way. By the way, that's a white woman whose white privilege kept her, talking about white rage and privilege, her white privilege kept her from getting arrested while she's literally smashing his windshield with a golf club. In the middle of the street, the neighbors are taking pictures and video of Ellen Nordegren wigging the hell out. In the middle of the street. But you're going to tell me about black women. If you don't sit and have all these seats. And then when Ellen got done, y'all remember just this year, his white girlfriend, he had to sick his attorneys on her because she wouldn't leave his house. He said, yeah, I've had enough of you. It's time to break up. And she said, I ain't going nowhere. He had to trick her into going to the airport, and when she got to the airport, his attorneys served her with papers to say you don't have permission to go back to the house. She then sues him for $30 million, folks. I've been covering it on my other YouTube channel. That's the other white woman, not just one, there's another one. So let me get this straight. The first white woman tried to assault him in the middle of the street with a damn golf club, didn't give a damn about the kids, neighbors, or nothing. The second girlfriend don't want to move out the house and hires an attorney to sue him for $30 million because he doesn't want to be with her anymore. And you telling me, well, I would date outside the race. How's that working out for Tiger? How's that working out for him in his 40s? How's that working out? What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, what you said makes perfect sense if you have a short memory or brain damage and don't have any knowledge of current events. Yeah, what you said makes perfect sense. It doesn't if you actually look into the facts on the ground. Hella black men in trouble right now fooling around with white girls. But then again, it's been that way since To Kill a Mockingbird. Some fool on my phone telling me about black women. Meanwhile, these white women got brothers hemmed up every damn week on false charges, trumped up and every damn thing else. Got to keep a nigga baby. Please, the last time you gonna see her on Instagram modeling is after she gets pregnant. As soon as she got the baby, that's it. Size 16, here we come. What are you talking about? The only place where that actually really happens is in between your ears, fellas. In the real world, it doesn't occur. In the real world, you're making a false equivalency because you have to. Look, if you want to go pretend you got access to as many white women as you want to, man, knock yourself out. You can pretend that all you want to, fantasize all you want to. But if you were really about that life, you wouldn't be calling and saying that. You just go ahead and do that. The fellas who have access ain't talking about it. They being about it. The fellas who wish they had access got hella time to call in. Caller from area code 504. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Jason. This is G from New Orleans. How you doing this evening, brother?
G from New Orleans. What's on your mind?
Hey, brother. Look, great broadcast. I want to point out something. The woman that's on your screen that you're showing, Jeanne Chapman, was killed. Did you know that she was actually an former assistant to the Duchess of York? Sarah Ferguson.
What the hell is your point, G?
I was just mentioning that, man. That's all. I was wondering if you knew. I was looking at an article on it.
Sir, you missed the entire first hour of the program, didn't you? Folks, this is why I don't. G, I'm going to try to be as nice about this as I can. This is why I don't like people to call in and ask me questions, folks. If y'all want to know why this, Jason doesn't like it when people call up and ask him questions. This right here, this is why. This is why I don't want y'all to do that. If you got something to say, just say that. Don't call up and quiz me trivia, because it's like I've already covered it. Well, did you know? I'm Jason Black. Of course I know. Well, why is he yelling? Dude, it's 15 years in the game and folks call me up quizzing me. Take a look on your screen, G. Take a look on your screen. This is the first thing I showed when I started the program. The very first thing I showed when I started the program. The news media wasn't even saying her name. They were saying Duchess of York. Literally. Folks, this is why Jason doesn't want people to call up and quiz him and ask questions. Jason gets real irritated when they did it. Yeah, this is why. This is why. Right here. G, what was your point? Okay, yes. Did I know? Yes, I knew. What's the point?
You know what? Whatever, man. Shit. I just thought I didn't see the first. No, I didn't see the first half, but of your show.
Okay, now we got it. We got it. Yes, Jason saw it.
But
if you raise that point, did you know that she was a former assistant to the Duchess of York? Yes, we did. All right. Where were you going with it?
I just was saying I thought that was interesting about that regarding the situation. So I just actually stumbled upon the article and was looking at it. So, but at any rate, all I was going to say is that regarding what you're talking about with your broadcast, about what's going on with the culture and so forth, people will find out the hard way, especially sisters, about divesting. And a situation like this is one of those tragic examples of it. So.
I agree. Thank you for giving us a call.
Damn! Alrighty then.
Folks, I hope a lesson well learned here. Does Jason know? 9 chances out of 10 he does. And folks, just if you got something to say, just say it. Do not quiz Jason. Don't. Jason, did you know that Jimmy Walker got married today? Call him Code 305. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
TJ, you already know who it is. It's your boy One Love.
One Love. What's on your mind, brother?
Hey, man. You already know you be on it. I'm just saying, this is the prime example of the 3 plays, because white supremacy only has 3 plays. On White Not Say So, who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes? And the last play, it always works. It might not be in this situation on the topic, but hey, our ace card, our joker, we just send a white girl out there. But what you own is what you own. You know what I'm saying? What they saying for the topic is, hey, we said so. This is what it is. Now, when I say it, I can convince you that this is what it is, no matter what you see. And I appreciate your breakdown on how you put it. You just showed everybody exactly what it was, even if they came on late. These jokers coming on late and trying to act like they didn't hear it. You know what I'm saying? You telling them exactly what it is, for even if they didn't hear it. But they acting like they didn't hear it, so you can break it down to them. If they can't hear it, Jason, and my apology, because I don't even call you Jason no more. You TBA, you the Black Authority for a reason. It is what it is. You breaking down stuff so simple that for the people who can't get it simple, it's people who can't be brought from side A to side B, because they're going to be they going to cause trouble on side B. Man, leave them where they at. Leave them where they at, TBA. I love your new channel, even though it's your old channel. I went back and listened to some of the old stuff that you dropped back in 2015, because I've been a listener since 2017. And some of the stuff you were dropping is nothing new, because you've been bringing it to them for the longest. And if they still don't understand, that's the point I'm coming from. If they still don't understand, man, you got to leave them on side A. You bring them from one side of the pond to the other, they're going to cause problems on the other side. Some people supposed to be left behind, TVA. I love what you're doing, man. You know what I'm talking about? And by the way, we got an agreement that I wasn't going to hit you up until I got my funds. I've been funded, TVA. I ain't trying to drop all this stuff on you. I'm sorry about all that noise, man. I ain't going to bring up all this about, right now, but I'm finna send you receipts and invoices. I've been funded on what we spoke about, but that's what it is. I just wanted to say I love TBA for who he is. He's the real, and even though he know what I'm doing, he still talk to me like a grown man and let me know if you ain't doing the right thing, I can't support you. TBA, B1, keep it rolling, baby. Don't worry about these rest of these.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 865. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Jason, you a bitch ass nigga.
Finally, someone who understands me. Well, finally a phone call I could respect. Oh, he hung up. Yes. All right. Was I supposed to be offended by that, by the way? Jason, you're an ass! Okay, what else is new? Am I supposed to be offended by that? Jason, you're a jerk! And you're a ass, and you're mean to people, and you rude as hell, and you no good! Okay. All right, well, thanks for confirming it. I always suspected it about myself, but thanks for actually confirming it. It's always good to have confirmation. Hate to be walking around just deluded about myself. Glad to have... Oh, somebody else sees it? It must be true. All right. I'm good. I'm good. Don't you love it when the females call in and say that, Jason Black, you old B-ass nigga. You ain't no damn good. I'm like, is that my mom? Did somebody give my mom the number to the Black Channel? Did that happen? Thought I was just talking to strangers out here. Didn't know my kinfolk were listening in. Didn't know that was happening. I just figured it was a bunch of strangers. I didn't know people who really know me were just... I just want to let you all know I'm his grandmother and he's no good. Okay. Is that Aunt Samantha? You know who the hell this is, Jason. The family reunion's never going to be the same. Let me tell you. Am I supposed to be bothered by that? Jason, you a B-ass nigga. Well, not actually. Sometimes I'm a hoe-ass nigga, but all right. Folks, that doesn't bother me, please. I've been called worse things by my first grade teacher. No, I'm not joking either. I've been called worse things by my first grade teacher. There's a reason I don't go back to class reunions. There's a reason I don't go there. When you have a woman who knew you when you were 8 years old tell you, I always knew you were going to turn out to be this rotten bastard. It's like, yeah, I'm not going back to that one. Let me leave those school years behind. Yeah, I think I've heard enough. Yeah, I think I can do without it. Think I can. Well, if you knew I was going to turn out like that, why are you so angry? If you knew that was going to happen, how can you be so outraged if you knew it was going to occur? I don't get mad at the sun for coming up in the morning. You folks would be surprised at some of the stories I could tell you. I heard your voice. I just didn't know who that was. Okay, all right, fine. If I had known you were going to turn out like that, but you did. Now, is there anything I've said that is wrong or factually inaccurate? No, but the way you say it is... All right. All right. On that call, let me go ahead and wrap things up. Let me wrap things up here tonight. That was actually a good call to wrap things up on, by the way. Look, folks, if you're going to be a troll, at least be a good one. That's the only thing I ask. If you're going to troll, at least be a good one. Please don't turn the program boring or anything. So if you're going to be a troll, at least be a good one. Be a troll who adds to the program, all right? Be a troll who adds to the program. That's all I ask. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we are here. If you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, you want to go and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, Race War, all available on DVD and streaming, go to blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. I want to thank all of you for tuning into tonight's program. Thank you for watching live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, eat this, drink this, sleep this, think this, breathe this, feel this, live this, love this, everything. We are Black first.